everyone, welcome to session 2 of the Career X Product Management course. And today we'll be addressing Agile tools and techniques. Session 1, we learned about Agile methodologies, what a Scrum team is, what Scrum framework are, and today we'll just be looking at what are the tools that Agile teams use to carry out product tasks. Now, Agile tools act as a central hub which the entire product team use to boost visibility into the development process. Now, this agile software also help to streamline communication, which allow for quick feedback exchange. So they're just essentially digital tools that agile teams use for a number of different product purposes. There are several tools that a product manager can use, but for the course of this program, we'll discuss only three out of many. I encourage you to go and do your research, Google, ask what are the other agile tools aside these three that we'll be addressing. The first is Jira. Jira is a project management tool that agile teams used for collaboration. They have a set of features and they also help improve Scrum and Kanban workflow. There are a couple of features that Jira uses, and so these are just a couple of the features. Jira has a paid and a free version, and just depends on what your team needs and what your product needs or what your organization can afford. Asana is another agile tool. It's a project management tool that agile software teams use to collaborate. It empowers teams to manage tasks, visualize roadmaps, plan projects, and generate attractive reports. Some of you have already started using agile. Has already started using as Jira for your PRD or for your roadmap. And so that is just you acquainting yourself with one more agile software tool that most product teams will use in agile work environment. The final one we're going to discuss is Trello. Trello is a visual tool that empowers your team to manage projects. These are all project management tools and they all have different unique offerings that you choose either of them based on whatever your organization can afford or whatever your team needs or whatever this differentiator which whatever these tools offer you and your team and what your unique differentiator, what your unique needs are. They also have a couple of features that product teams will find very helpful. Now, like I said, these three, Asana, Jira, and Trello, are all project management tools. There are also collaboration tools that agile teams use to collaborate on tasks, such as Slack and Zoom. And so nowadays, most teams are working remote, and so, one of the ways that software teams in agile environments are using to ensure or to foster collaboration is all of these digital tools like Slack or Zoom or Google Meet, and they're just using this to foster collaboration and enhance their work processes. A couple of other collaboration tools are Atlassian, Google Meet, like I said, Microsoft, etc. Benefits of using an efficient collaboration tool. Now, it encourages improved and faster communication for local or remote teams. It ensures that there is clearer exchange of information since all communications. It also provides a centralized form of communication because since it is on the internet, anybody, no matter where any member of the team are, they are able to access any information readily. It also encourages faster file sharing across team members. There's also a decrease in miscommunication because for reference purposes, meetings or calls can be recorded with consent, of course. Always seek consent when you're recording a call. But calls are recorded, and so there's less chance of miscommunication. There's always the opportunity for a team member who may have forgotten certain details to go back to a recording to see or to remind themselves of what it is they have forgotten. There's also improved visibility. So with a couple of these project management tools, you can actually see your teammates at work. And so it enhances improved visibility into team members' activities. Now, agile estimation techniques. During it was last week, we talked about prioritization frameworks in product management teams, right? So in agile teams, there are also agile estimation techniques, and we'll just cover a couple of them. One of them is called story points. Story points are an estimation technique used in agile project management methodology to help your team scope the effort required. So it's an effort scoping estimation technique, and it accounts for factors like task complexity and authenticity, which makes them more accurate than other estimation techniques. There's also t-shirt sizing estimation technique, which is used to estimate the size or effort required to complete a user story or task. It involves assigning sizes to a task. So you assign sizes to a task based on your estimation of how much effort it will take. So for a task that will require a lot of effort, you can um, assign a t-shirt size of extra of large to it. A task that will not take too much effort, you can assign a t-shirt size of small to it. So you use a sequence method of 1 2 3, and then you assign t-shirt sizes accordingly. There's also planning poker. Planning poker is a planning and estimation technique used by agile teams after a product backlog has been created. We just learned about what a product backlog is, both in traditional product management environments and in agile software teams. Now, the setup of this technique helps software teams to accurately estimate product development timeframes, improve collaboration, and strategize the work to be done. Planning poker in Agile is usually played by several estimators across all departments. So you don't do it alone as the product manager or the product owner. You do it in collaboration with several other team members that can provide insights on the task, or the accurately give you time estimation for each task or each product activity that is on your sprint backlog. For agile teams, planning poker is a great addition to the product planning and development processes, and it encourages team collaboration and ensures both realistic and accurate timeline, as it is a consensus based process. Consensus in the sense that you don't do it alone, so you do it in collaboration with other stakeholders. There's also bottom up estimation, and bottom up estimation involves, instead of guessing a big overall effort, you estimate the time needed for the smallest details. So you do it, instead of starting from the top, you start from your smallest, most detailed task, estimate the time that will be needed for it, and then you add up the time needed for each small task to get a total project estimate. So you are breaking down a big task into smaller tasks, estimate the time for the smallest, most detailed task, add all of it, and get your total project estimate. Now, this approach relies heavily on breaking the project into tiny, manageable pieces, because you're going to have a lot of information. Some product teams might not find the bottom up estimating technique to be the best. And so, if as a product manager or as a product owner, you want to use this technique, you need to collaborate heavily with all relevant stakeholders and ensure that you have detailed information about lower level activities. You cannot afford to overlook any task when you are using this estimation technique. Now, as a product manager or lead, guiding your team through an effective estimation process is an essential skill. And by assigning values to features or stories, team members can translate their subjective opinions into quantifiable measurements that will help you map out the next project. Agile estimation technique. The purpose of using estimation techniques in agile work environments is just so you're able to estimate effort, estimate time that your product task will need, which essentially helps you manage your backlog effectively and manage your sprint effectively and help you plan out your next project. So it's very crucial to the product development stages. And so it's just always important that as a product manager, you trust the estimate that is given you. You are sure that you are collaborating or you are seeking feedback from the right stakeholders. If you need feedback on, let's say, a back end task, you need to ensure that you are talking to a back end engineer, not a web developer or a front end or a mobile. You have to ensure that you identify the key and the correct stakeholders for each task that you need effort estimation input on, and then sync with them. And you have to trust that they are giving you the right data that is based on their experience, so that your outcome or the result of your estimation is appropriate and you don't set your project back. Because remember, a sprint planning is 2 weeks, and so you have such a short time to get a product feature as out as fast as possible. So there's a lot that is hanging on the line, and so you need to remind your team to be optimistic about it, estimate, and that even if things change, always ensure to go back to your team and align with them and let them have input into how things have changed and how you are managing the scope creep. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week when we talk about wireframing and UX design as a product manager.